Live from Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, the 2025 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau continues on. We've got three more Class 1A state quarterfinals before we turn our attention to the semifinal round. And this one pits the number 4 seed in the Class 1A tournament, the Golden Bears from Bishop Garrigan High School, against the number 5 seeded Bravettes from Montezuma. Well, welcome courtside here to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. Daniel Versteeg with you, joined by Blake Walker for what should be a really entertaining 1A quarterfinal. We just saw the number 1 seed play the 8 seed, a close contest. I think that just shows 1A's wide open. This matchup's no different.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the teams watching the first game might be a little more motivated because these are two pretty high-scoring teams that have pretty good defenses. St. Albert only scores 42 points, so they got to be licking their chops here as they look to the next game. Montezuma
brings in a three-point shooting duo there, the Cook sisters. They've got a Wettering. It's kind of typical status quo, yeah, for Montezuma. Bishop Garrigan brings in some strong post play. It's like these two teams haven't really changed in the last few years.
Well, and the cool thing is they've both been here. They're both well-seasoned. Obviously, Bishop Garrigan, one of the first things their coaches wrote in his recap, he said, a lot of people thought, well, once Audie Crooks is gone, that's it. No, they're back, and they're very young, too.
Yes.
This Montezuma team's actually the veteran group of it all, and Coach Burgess has brought Montezuma here. They've had great years with Elise Bolton and the Bolton sisters, so should be really interesting to see what we have today on tap.
It's a very intriguing matchup here as we take a look at the Montezuma Bravettes and Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, how they got to the state tournament. The Bravettes, 19-5, they defeated a solid Lennox team in the region final by 12 points. As you can see, the three-point shooting threat is there. It's Ellen and Vivian Cook, two of the best three-point shooters the state of Iowa has to offer. They both average double figures as far as scoring is concerned. Ellen Cook, a pretty strong passer as well. Meanwhile, Bishop Garrigan had a tough North Central Iowa foe in St. Ansgar in the region championship game in Region 4. They downed the Saints 73-44. Gracelyn Eastman, Seisha Alish, two of the top contributors on an offense that is second in the state in points per game. Golden Bears and the Bravettes. It's a Class 1A state quarterfinal. You would expect nothing less than these two teams being here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. We will take a break, come back, and when we do, we'll get you our channel Seeds for Success. You're watching the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, the site of the 2025 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. With Blake Walker, Daniel Versteeg, we're getting you ready for a very intriguing 4 versus 5 seed matchup. The 4-seeded Golden Bears of Bishop Garrigan, the 5-seeded Bravettes of Montezuma, in a Class 1A state quarterfinal. Let's dive deeper into what it's going to take to win this game. Blake, let's take a look at our channel Seeds for Success.
Yeah, I think for Montezuma, I think you just got to keep shooting the ball. You and I talked about it at the top of the show. They ranked first. I mean, they're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the state. They've shot over 650 three-pointers on the year. And they don't wait for anybody. I mean, it's kind of that Grinnell College offense where it just keeps shooting. They're going to miss some. It's just bound to happen. You just got to keep shooting to keep up with this Bishop Garrigan team. For the Golden Bears, I think it's got to share the wealth. They average 16 assists per game as a team. If you can kind of spread it out, we saw St. Albert do that in that last game. Nobody really had a ton of points. They were able to share it. I think BG just got to kind of stay within and keep everybody on top of each other. I think both you just got to play your game. We always say it every time you come into the state tournament. A lot of teams like to change it up a little bit. Sometimes your warm-up's a little bit different, but you just got to play what got you to state here in the first place. Crowd's a little bit smaller just because of traveling here today with the weather outside, but just play your game. I think it'll be a good one between these two teams.
And on that note, we do appreciate everybody that is hunkered down wherever you may be in this great state of Iowa tuning in here on the Girls Union Digital Network. We hope to bring you a great game, and I think it should be. Bishop Garrigan, of course, a perennial power in Class 1A against a Montezuma team in the state tournament for the second year in a row. When we come back, we'll be that much closer to tip-off. We'll get you all the introductions, the starting lineups, and more. You're watching the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, a fifth-generation farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, executive director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We're excited to have you join us for the Girls State Basketball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to be the title sponsor of this amazing event. Iowa's farmers work endlessly to grow and raise nutritious food and sustain our local communities. Similarly, Iowa's student athletes dedicate countless hours to train and excel in their sport. Partnering with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union allows us to celebrate farmers and student athletes while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is a tremendous achievement, and it requires strong support. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we can celebrate and honor students for their accomplishments on the basketball court and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to your success, assisting our organization in providing awards, grants and scholarships, as well as concussion insurance and these wonderful championship hats. These contributions not only protect student athletes' health, but also highlight outstanding performance in both athletics and academics.
As Iowans, we have so much to be proud of, and every single one of us plays a role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on an outstanding season and best of luck in the tournament.
Back here to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines with Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. We're in the final moments before tip-off as Bishop Garrigan and Montezuma look to start sending us down the home stretch of the quarterfinal round, ready for semifinals on Thursday and Friday. As we inch closer to tip-off of this contest, we'll go down to our public address announcer for all of the pregame festivities, introductions, and more right before tip-off of this Class 1A state quarterfinal.
Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to today's 2025 Girls State Basketball quarterfinal matchup featuring the Montezuma Bravettes and the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Montezuma High School and Bishop Garrigan High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. And now a member of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Montezuma High School, Rick Swenson. And from Bishop Garrigan High School, Kathy and Mike Mossback.
Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union positive behavior is its reputation. Pride, respect, leadership, and sportsmanship, both on the court and in the stands. Remember what a great privilege it is to watch your team compete. Thank you for your attendance, and enjoy the game. And enjoy the game. And enjoy the game. And enjoy the game.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game. All right, fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's quarterfinal matchup. First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Bravettes. Number 2, Lindsay Henry. Number 12, Lauren Larmore. Number 13, Ryan Williams. Number 14, Sophia Semprini. Number 20, Maya Smothers. Number 30, Leticia Wilson. Number 32, Alexa Rose. Number 40, Riley Thompson. And number 52, Chloe Kraus. The assistant coaches are Tim Burgess, Greg Long, Megan Van Zanny, and Autumn Feeblecorn. Now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Golden Bears. Number 2, Alyssa Hogland. Number 3, Brooklyn Birdie. Number 5, Addison Ferris. Number 10, Shiloh Trainer. Number 20, Lillian Erpelding Wickman. Number 23, Carly Nielsen. Number 25, Jenna Peterson. Number 30, Ava Rothler. And number 32, Bree Ludwig. The assistant coaches are Joe Bartolo, Mick Elbert, and John Bartello, and Lance Ludwig. All right, it's time to introduce the starters for both teams in alternating fashion. For the Bravettes, a 5'6" senior guard, number 3, Ellen Cook. For the Golden Bears, a 5'5" junior guard, number 10, Emmy Bartolo. For the Bravettes, a 5'4" sophomore guard, number 4, Vivian Cook. For the Golden Bears, a 6' sophomore forward, number 15, Graceland Eastman. For the Bravettes, a 5'11" sophomore forward, number 5, Sydney Burgess. And for the Golden Bears, a 5'9" freshman guard, number 21, Madeline Tigas. For the Bravettes, a 5'6" junior guard, number 10, Claire Ursilius. And for the Golden Bears, a 5'7" senior guard, number 22, Zoe Montag. For the Bravettes, a 5'11" senior forward, number 50, Sharessa Wettering. And for the Golden Bears, a 5'6" junior guard, number 24, Sasha Alish. Head coach for the Bravettes is Janelle Burgess, and the head coach for Bishop Garrigan, Brandon Schwab. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table for the introduction of our officials for tonight's game. Royce Raniger, Jason Slaughter, Kevin Schulte, and your bench official, Chris Shaw. Basketball fans, it's time to play state tournament basketball.
Well, we are ready to go in a big Class 1A state quarterfinal. The Bishop Garrigan fans ready to see if they've got what it takes to get back to that state championship game. They haven't been there in a couple of years. Of course, they won back-to-back titles in 22 and 23. Montezuma back to the state tournament for the second year in a row. It's going to be a fun one. It'll be Eastman in the center circle, and she's jumping with Sydney Burgess. Let's get it underway. Bishop Garrigan, the opening tap, and the Golden Bears work it into the front court quickly. They want to go very quick to the basket. They get all the way in, and that shot missed strong. You don't score 64 points a game by going slow offensively.
Yeah, and you got to move fast, and that's exactly what we're going to see. These are two high-powered offenses, but also good defenses to match.
Montezuma carries it. That is Claire Ercilius. Just let that ball get a little too high, and first possession's out of the way. Maybe a little jitters, kind of hopefully going with it, too.
It's the age-old saying. You're always going to have jitters here at the state tournament, and both teams get away.
Here comes Bishop Garrigan trying to settle into their offense. They work it inside with Bartolo around the right corner. That's an open three for the senior Zoe Montag, and the only senior on this Garrigan roster with a number of sophomores, juniors, and freshmen that have made an impact all season.
I was surprised Claire Ercilius never came up and guarded. I thought it was a pretty easy shot, like you said, so might be something that they're going to want to tighten up here defensively.
Here's Wettering with her first touch. A little baby hook around Eastman, and that wouldn't go. This is going to be a great post matchup with Gracelyn Eastman and Charissa Wettering, two underclassmen that we're probably going to get to enjoy at the state tournament for a few years. There's a long triple from Emmy Bartolo, and just like her first quarter in the region final against St. Ansgar, she's got a long ball here.
And she's so experienced. She came off the bench in the title in 2023, so knows what it's like to play in big games.
That ball gets loose, picked up by Madeline Tigas, and Montezuma better know where number 10 is and whether she's got the basketball or not. To the basket. That one goes off the bottom of the glass. Put back. Didn't have enough on it. And it's pulled down by Burgess.
Montezuma's got a little bit of height. I mean, Sydney Burgess, just a sophomore, 5'11". Then you got Wettering, who's 5'11". So there's a little bit of an advantage. Eastman is the tallest one on the floor at 6 foot, but the rest of the lineup's pretty short for Bishop Garrigan.
Here's one of the cooks. Ellen missed it strong. Those two have been leading Montezuma to a ton of success all season. Ellen, the senior, Vivian, the sophomore. There's a little pick and roll down to Eastman. She couldn't handle the pass. It was deflected away by Claire Ercilius. And the Bravettes bring it back, still looking for their first points of the contest.
I haven't seen an attempt from the three-point line yet. Garrigan's doing a really good job guarding the perimeter.
So surprising as Ellen Cook takes it in, can't put it away. Eastman comes back up the floor for Bishop Garrigan. And the Golden Bears, they got a three from Emmy Bartolo. That's been the only basket to drop. Seychelles tries to change that. And now Janelle Burgess, kind of frustrated with things, how things have started, calls a timeout. And that's a veteran coach trying to get things taken care of early. Janelle Burgess in her 8th year as the head coach of Montezuma girls basketball. 166 wins, 30 losses. Someone who really knows how to have success.
Yeah, it is. And, she's had so many good players come up through her program. And, now she's got her daughter on the floor, and that's a big thing. That whole family. I mean, Eddie Burgess was an unbelievable football player at Montezuma. Everybody remembers him from the 100-point game that Montezuma had in football. But she's very well seasoned. I think that might be the earliest timeout we've seen all week. You're only down 3-0, but she knows they're not getting anything good offensively.
Yeah, right now 0 for 4 to start things off. And to your point, Montezuma, they like to shoot threes, but they haven't even gotten an opportunity to yet. So maybe trying to draw something up, give themselves an outside shot, try and get the lid off the rim. And now they go inside. Well, that works too. Off the glass for Ellen Cook, and the Bravettes are on the board.
Leads the team in points per game with 14.6. It's a rare inside shot, but I think Garrigan's giving it to them early, so they're not going to have to take any threes if they're not given forced to.
Montag going around to Tigas, senior to freshman, back to the senior, and Montag knocks it down. Golden Bears by 4.
Well, that time again, a little soft coverage. I mean, they really didn't come up to the three-point line to guard him, and Bishop Garrigan still shoots the three ball pretty well.
Oh, there's a takeaway. Montag to the basket with a lefty lay-in. as the ball got rolled away, so our official stops the clock so as to not bleed too much time. But the Golden Bears, boy, do they jump on St. Ansgar in the region final, outscored them 43-17 in the first half, thanks in large part to Emmy Bartolo's 17 points in that first quarter. So, Montezuma's thinking that, say, hey, we got to answer quick.
Yeah, and, Montezuma got easy wins over Moravia and then Melcher Dallas, and then Lennox a little bit tougher of a game. But, yeah, Bishop Garrigan, probably the most convincing regional final win we saw out of anyone.
Certainly. It was total domination start to finish. Golden Bears went 10 of 23 from the three-point arc in that game. Of course, again, Emmy Bartolo was a big reason why. She hit 6 of them. 17 points in that first quarter. So here comes Montezuma. What do they have drawn up? This is Burgess, the coach's daughter. Now they go down to Wettering. Works her way inside. Can't finish. Just wouldn't drop. And it is Eastman the board.
And you said it. I mean, Wettering and Eastman are just going to be a fun battle, and you're just going to have to keep going at her because I think she'll have an advantage most of the time.
We'll pick and roll again. Got to the right corner there. That was Ava Rothler. Now here comes Alish. Little teardrop. Nestles home. Garrigan's the first to double figures.
They're really quick. I mean, it's a nice weave, a couple pick and rolls, which are really catching Montezuma off guard, and Montezuma just can't get an open look here on offense.
Good heady play by Ellen Cook to get out of the trap and get it to Charissa Wettering, who settles in with the basket.
And that's a really nice play by Wettering, just averaging over 10 points per contest. She's a 50% shooter from the floor, so you'd expect her numbers are going to be pretty high.
And she's gotten better at the mid-range jumper. That was something Coach Chanel Burgess mentioned. She has really added that aspect of the game, and Zoe Montag's feeling it here in Des Moines with her second long ball.
She's only shooting 28% from the three-point line coming in, and maybe the script is flipped. BG's going to be the one shooting all the threes today.
This one out of bounds. Royce Raniger, our official, says it belongs to Montezuma. As we'll get our substitutions in, they are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Or now you can be worry-free at IMTins.com. So, Montezuma will possess the basketball here. Their substitution brought in Lauren Larmore, the freshman. This is Ursilius trying to get things rolling to her left. And this is the senior of the Cooks, Ellen, trying to get it down to the freshman, Wettering. One dribble, and to the rack for two.
Well, clearly, three-point line's not open. I mean, they're doing a good job, so they know Wettering's going to have to be the position down low, and she's doing a really nice job up against Eastman.
A rocking chair dribble, good pass down to Eastman, who muscles it in. And again, the posts are starting to settle in. They're getting comfortable, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, Eastman just able to really get in a good position there, and Wettering put her hands straight up, didn't want to foul.
Tough defense, loose ball off the Braveheads, and Garrigan's got a chance to really blow this game open. As Alyssa Hoagland will come in here for Garrigan, back in at the starting, one of the starters in Sydney Burgess. Something the Braveheads are going to have a tough time with. They only played 6 in their region final. Coach Burgess said we cannot get into foul trouble. They just don't have the bodies for it.
Yeah, which right now, I mean, they've gone already almost 6 minutes here, still no fouls, and
the travel. All right, that gets the ball back. Yeah, Montezuma's done a really nice job at that, and the unfortunate part, too, is you can really only sub in one player at a time in that regard. You have to have some very, tough and athletic players to stay out there a long time.
Right, and, with Wettering now, she checks out. That was the one thing on defense. Hands are straight up. Yes. I mean, you're not going to see a lot of reaching, not a lot of big chances being taken. You're going to do what you can.
Yeah, you got to be very disciplined. Oh, the handoff deflected, and Ellen Cook flags it down. Emmy Bartolo sets up with a defensive stance. And this is Vivian Cook, the sophomore. She works inside, and nothing doing. Good tight defense there from Carly Nielsen. Down low, and we had some fighting for position down low. I think we're going to get Gracelyn Eastman as the first foul for her, second for Garrigan in the quarter.
Well, just, again, the on-ball defense is very strong, and Montezuma still has not even attempted a three. So
they work inside. Ursilius gets to the rack, and the threes are greater than the two, but Montezuma still certainly sticking with it.
Claire's kind of that hidden gem on the team and just averaging under 10 points per game, and really, I think defensively hasn't started too well, but starting to get some points there.
That's an off-balance shot. Eastman doesn't get it to go, but Montezuma touched the rebound last, so Braveheads have to last a little bit longer on the defensive side. Up top it goes. Nielsen tries to get down to Eastman again. There for it with good position is Burgess, but she's whistled for a foul. And Eastman's going to shoot a couple.
Yeah, Burgess' right arm came down just a little bit. It's just Montezuma's first foul of the ball game, so you'll take it.
That does prompt a change in the post, potentially. Charissa Wettering waiting there. First free throw doesn't go there for Eastman. 64% free throw shooter as we take a look at that entry pass once again, and just a little on the hand there. Put Eastman to the line.
Both these teams just, Garrigan in total, 64% from the line. Montezuma just 65, and we've seen teams struggle from the line very heavily. St. Albert really did not look good from the free throw line, so just something we've noticed here this week at the state tournament.
Yeah, usually you get a handful of teams that struggle at the free throw line, but it's been kind of state tournament wide here, as now Janelle Burgess, very frustrated, had to call her second timeout already here in the first quarter. She wants just a quick chew out here. The tough part about the Garrigan defense, you mentioned the on-ball is so good, but that help is coming too, and the traps are just tremendous right now.
And I think her main thing is she didn't like how far they came to the came to the sideline. You just can't trap yourself, and they asked for it coming to the near side. And I think that's what she's wanting them to do, is just get to the middle, because yes, your offense is not really humming right now, but you got to get across half court first, and BG's just doing a really good job staying on top of that.
Shout out to all the fans here, Montezuma student section trying to fire up their Braveheads. Shout out to everybody that braved the elements to come here to Des Moines. The roads were not great, to say the least.
The only downside, we don't get the Montezuma pet band. That's the only downside of it with the weather, but still really good to see a lot of fans come out.
Yeah, they certainly braved the elements, and we appreciate everybody tuning in, of course, on this very snowy day in the state of Iowa, pretty much statewide. As Cook is tied up with Eastman off the missed shot, Braveheads will get another try. Get another substitution in. Zoe Montag checks in for Bishop Garrigan. That's another IMT insurance substitution. It'll be Ellen Cook, senior, inbounding. Goes up top, and a dangerous pass. Arcelius with the game's first three for Montezuma, but missed it short.
If you had told me their first three-pointer would have been taken with about a minute left in the quarter, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, what game would you have been talking about? Yeah, Montag, little runner, doesn't go. And that rebound to the end line is kept alive by Montezuma. Good hustle. And now the Braveheads want to run. Here they come with Larmore, that first and really only off the bench. Ellen Cook stops in the paint, has to get out to her sister Vivian. Back to Ellen. Now she wants a three. Can't get it. And it's Bartolo with the board.
Ellen can run. She's a cross-country runner. She can go up and down the floor, and she's not breaking a sweat yet. She's going to have to keep doing it here.
I'm convinced she never runs out of energy.
No, I don't think so. Literally, it doesn't look like she's broken a sweat.
Nope. I would love to have that ability, but that passed me by a long time ago. We got an illegal screen. And that one was set by Seisha Alish as she asks our official for the explanation. And it'll be Montezuma basketball. They'll make another change once again. Sydney Burgess in for the Bravettes.
Just quick substitutions, one in, one out. You talked about it. I mean, usually it's just one at a time, just trying to keep fresh legs on the floor here, and they get Wettering back in the ballgame here for this final possession.
Yep, Wettering in there with the Cooks. This is, again, Ellen. Drives into the paint, goes out to Arcelius. Didn't get a good look. Good defense from Montag. There's Wettering. Hook shot. Eastman alters it and gets the board. So Montezuma doesn't get the opportunity. This is a half-court heave from Bartolo, and she had a little bit more time maybe, but missed that one short, and we go to the end of the first quarter with Bishop Garrigan hitting a trio of triples on 4 tries to give themselves an 8-point lead. Be back with the second after this. You're watching the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
It's Frank. Frank, Mr. Frank, and just what you did now, I think you're the best ever.
In your neighborhood, there's a place so good. It's so nice to be at a store meant for me. The feeling of family, you have to agree.
Wow, thanks, Fairway Frank.
Welcome to Fairway, your Fairway family.
Well, across Iowa, hundreds of neighborhood banks are providing jobs, supporting businesses, and strengthening our communities. Here, success is built by you, and the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See what we mean at iowabankers.com. Well, after one quarter of play, Blake Walker, I'm Daniel Versteg. It's Bishop Garrigan hitting a few threes, and again, kind of flipping the script from what we talked about right off the top. The Golden Bears have been the ones to convert from the outside.
And it's Montezuma going to the post. It really is just kind of a flip of what we thought it was going to be, but Montezuma just kind of hanging in here. I feel like they're going to have to start going on a little bit of a run here.
Shows you how much you really need to pay attention during our little pregame chats. We don't really know what we're talking about. Here's the drive by Bartolo. Much quieter first quarter than she had a week ago, but dumps it inside to Eastman with a beautiful post move off the glass.
That's been the difference. Eastman's been really good, able to convert on the couple shots down low, and Wiedering's just having a little bit tougher of a time trying to get in rhythm here.
There they get it to Wettering. This time she tries to get a basket, and she walked. Took that extra step and a travel call that will give Bishop Garrigan a chance to extend the lead past 10. And this is kind of the danger time. Garrigan kind of senses some blood in the water.
Well, and they're doubling ball pressure. So Wettering got caught. She couldn't really go anywhere, has to try to dribble out of it, and that's where they get caught. So, yeah, you said it. This is a big possession here for Montezuma's defense.
Off the floor, it's Bartolo working to her right. And trying to cross it back to the corner. That's an open three by Montag. Can't dial it in. There's the putback. Eastman missed it. And Wettering with the board.
There's almost three Bravettes sitting right around Eastman there, and she's able to go and get it. Really nice job. Just couldn't quite get the putback.
And now Montezuma tries to get in some kind of a rhythm. Vivian Cook to the baseline. Burgess backs her way inside. Dished it across the paint, and Wettering couldn't hang on. It's going to be Bishop Garrigan ball.
Well, and, despite the size that Montezuma, a little bit of an advantage over Bishop Garrigan, the Golden Bears, you can tell they're out-muscling them down low. I mean, there's a lot of contact. They're really trying to get position, but I feel like the Golden Bears have really done a good job so far setting that up.
Baseline drive, Bartolo. Oh, good kick out. Montag spots it up and puts it down. Her third three of the game puts the Golden Bears up by 13.
Coach Schwab kind of described her as the glue girl. Right now, she's all of it kind of girl. Really doing a good job.
That shot doesn't fall, and it's Eastman the rebound. And again, this is where the ball starts rolling downhill for Bishop Garrigan. Heat check, missed short, put back, flipped up by Alish, didn't get to the basket, and it'll be a Bravette ball.
Well, and the thing is, for Montag, nobody's covering her. I mean, they're just kind of giving her a lot of space on the three-point line. I don't know if that was part of the game plan, but just something that Montezuma's going to have to tighten up because these three-pointers, they're wide open.
Yeah, the Golden Bears have hit a handful of them. They're very efficient from the three-point arc, and now the Golden Bears have the run out. Bartolo uncontested to the hoop, and another timeout needed for Janelle Burgess, the head coach of Montezuma, with a 15-point Garrigan lead. We'll step aside and see if Montezuma can get their act together when we come back. You're watching the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, this one's certainly in control. The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, as we welcome you back. Alongside Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. 3 timeouts have been used by head coach Janelle Burgess and Montezuma in the first 10 minutes. And Blake, right now, this timeout, I think, is just to save any momentum you can build. Bishop Garrigan's been on a 7-0 run to start the second.
Yeah, it is, and it's all just their movement. They're so quick. They've been quick to almost every loose ball. They're jumping almost all the passing lanes. You got 6 turnovers already by Montezuma, and they're still just shooting 4 of 14. I mean, they've had a couple good looks down low, but they can't get the 3-ball like they've wanted to. They haven't even shot the 3-ball like they've wanted to, and you got to help here on these type of possessions.
Up the sideline, we're going to get a bump and a foul called against Ava Rothler as Garrigan picks up their first foul of the second quarter. Ava Rothler, one of those juniors off the bench. And, of course, in case you did not know, today is Ash Wednesday, hence why if you see some of the markings on the forehead of the Garrigan players, that's what that's all about. And kind of the start of the Lenten season here with Easter in the not-too-distant future. Golden Bears get the takeaway. Eastman running the floor well. Montezuma came in at the last second, deflected the basketball, and we'll get a tie-up, and I think Sydney Burgess got hit down low.
Got hit in the mouth as she was going after the loose ball there.
She's got to counter teeth, make sure they're all still there. And it looks like she's going to be okay to stay in there as our official Kevin Schultz makes sure.
It's a tall 5'11", I can tell you
is.
that. And she's just a sophomore. She's going to keep growing.
A long outlet, Burgess tracks it down. And she's none the worse for that hit down low as she lays it in and tries to fire up the Bravettes.
She averages just 5 points a game, which is kind of hard to believe because she can really play, but had a chance to go to an open 3-ball, decided to take it herself, and it pays off.
Very heady play, and now here's Rothler. Golden Bears try and stop any momentum Montezuma could build as Alice gets to the cup but missed it. Putbacks there, and a foul will send Rothler to the line.
And you get that miss, but nobody's there to rebound, and that's just kind of the tough part of it. That's 13th rebound that Garrigan's got today, just 8 for Montezuma.
And the big thing, Garrigan's got 4 offensive rebounds, Montezuma with just 1, so those second chances have been virtually non-existent for the Bravettes as Rothler hits the first of her 2 free throws, a perfect 3 of 3 at the line now this season. A very rare free throw opportunity for Rothler as Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab makes an IMT insurance substitution. Rothler's 4th free throw of the year is just as good as the previous 3, and it's a 15-point Golden Bear advantage.
Well, they get to the line quite a bit. 353 free throws attempted this year. Montezuma only about 250. So, and again, getting down the floor has been really hard for Montezuma. BG's not letting them go.
Well, the Golden Bears a chance to really pounce. And you know they want to take advantage of that as Emmy Bartolo brings it up the floor. The lethal assassin when she gets the opportunity. There's Eastman. Faces the basket. Oh, stepped around Wettering. What a jump stop and finish.
I mean, you can't be in a better spot. I mean, that's just a really nice play. And, yeah, you just can't do much there.
Montezuma, again, as you just mentioned, having a really hard time, but 2 Golden Bears fall to the floor. Vivian Cook can't get that one to drop, but she will create a couple of free throw opportunities on the foul by Bishop Garrigan.
Yeah, so again there, they had another wide open shooter on the 3-point line, decides to take it to the hoop. It's not a bad thing, but just considering what we've seen out of Montezuma this year, clearly making it a point to try to get to the basket.
Yeah, that was Vivian Cook's really the first shot attempt, as we'll see it again. And got that step around move and gets to the line. Vivian Cook, 81 3-point field goals made. She was coming into the region tournament 1 of 14 from the 3-point arc, really in a dry spell. Well, the last 2 games went 7 of 14 at the 3-point arc and really got back into a rhythm. Would love to see that continue here now in this state quarterfinal. Bishop Garrigan with a low weave up top. Tigas stops there, throws it out. And that was an open look for Nielsen. Wettering pounced on her, tried to kick it out, and a takeaway for Ellen Cook with a foul. We'll give Montezuma the basketball.
And you didn't want to see that foul if you're Montezuma because that just allows Bishop Garrigan to set up their press a little bit more. But now you're starting to see Montezuma jump a couple passing lanes here. They're starting to settle in.
The bench player Lauren Larmer back in here for Montezuma, and she's got the ball. Wants to take it in, but then cut off, double teamed. Up top, they swing it around for Ursilius.
Watch how that zone works. I mean, it's almost a double every single time somebody touches the ball, or at least 2 players in the vicinity. The Bravettes just have nowhere to breathe.
try to attack that gap along the side of the lane, but the shot doesn't drop. And now it's Bartolo bringing it back here for Bishop Garrigan. Montezuma sets up in their defense, a man-to-man look. Around the left side there is Hoagland. Try to switch off it and hit across the arm, and a floating shot is Tigges. She'll shoot 2.
Yeah, really nice take to the basket. Freshman starter, you don't get those a lot here at the state tournament, and when she's making plays like that, it's got to make you excited if you're a Bishop Garrigan fan.
Well, and especially with all the success they had, a lot of those girls in those 2 championship runs in the quarterfinals last year, they had been starting for so long that there was no opportunities for freshmen to follow up. But now that some of those players have graduated, the opportunities have presented themselves, and that's a testament to the program that Coach Schwab has built, that they're ready for the moment.
Right, and, after we talked about it, after Audie left, everyone's like, all right, well, there goes the time that Bishop Garrigan's had. No, I mean, Coach Schwab, he knew what he was doing. It just worked that he had Audie Crooks to work with, and now that she's gone, Zoe Montag's the only senior on this whole roster, and you see how they're playing. They're set for years.
And they still have very strong post plays.
Yes,
for a long time.
Yeah.
Gracelyn Eastman, she's not Audie Crooks, 6'4", biggest player on the floor.
But you see flashes of what.
Absolutely, yeah. She can really make plays down low, averaging a double-double coming into the state tournament. I mean, that just tells you what she can do. As the Golden Bears come up with a takeaway and start the run out. Ahead by a bunch. And trying to make it more. This is Alish. Oh, nice hezzy. Kicked out. Montag works it inside. Down the lane. Wettering contests. No matter as Tigges finishes through it.
Woo. I mean, that's going up against Montezuma's biggest player down low in terms of height, and really no fear there. Goes all the way to the basket, gets it to go off glass.
Ellen Cook, what a trap. Throws it off a Golden Bear and out of bounds. That's a nice play by Ellen Cook. But the problem is, like you mentioned, it seems like everywhere on the perimeter, there's a double team waiting to be there. It's got to feel like there's 8 or 10 Golden Bears out there.
Well, and again, they go to the sideline, and you just can't. You're going to have to stay in the middle of the floor, and I think that's what Coach Burgess was just trying to iterate to her girls, is that you just got to keep moving, and you can't force yourself in a hole.
Trying to get it down to Wettering. She's double-teamed. Brought the ball down. She's tied up in a jump ball. Possession stays with Montezuma.
Well, you get the ball underneath here, so run your best inbound play here. Try to get a bucket. Break this little drought here.
There's only a couple of baskets have fallen here in the second quarter. Yeah, it's been quite a while. Bishop Garrigan's used this little drought from Montezuma to put together a big advantage. Oh, a deep one coming from Ellen Cook. That's off the mark. Montag's had a few threes. She brings it the other way for the Golden Bears and keeps her eyes up. Finds Alish. Rattles out. Montag's there, and she's fouled. And a couple of free throws coming for Zoe Montag as Montezuma gives up another offensive rebound. You know, you can contend that you didn't intend to foul a player, but as soon as you give up an offensive rebound, you put yourself in such a compromising position.
And it's just when that shot goes up, you got to put a body on someone. It's great to be looking to the basket, but you got to put a body on someone. And that was just Montag, who ran up the floor, is the one to pass, and then just goes straight to the basket.
Seisha Alish getting some advice there from Coach Brandon Schwab as the second one up coming from Montag. Does get at least 1 point on the trip, and it's a 20-point Bishop Garrigan advantage. Montezuma needs an answer, and they need it quickly. Vivian Cook trying to get it there, but Alish swipes it away. Seisha starts the run out. Nice crossover all the way to the rack for 2 as it dances home.
And Burgess was right there, and, I mean, that's just a really good job. Bishop Garrigan's doing a great job getting through traffic, and once again, another ball tossed.
Another takeaway, Bartolo. Can't get it to fall. There's another O-board, and Montag is fouled once more. It is wash, rinse, and repeat. Steal, shot, O-board, get to the line.
Yeah, so we're looking at, I think once it updates, it'll be 11 turnovers for Montezuma. And rebounds, 16 rebounds for Bishop Garrigan, just 8 for Montezuma.
And that rebounding number has been at 8 for quite a while now. So it's been a long time as we just see Montag causing some chaos, getting to the hoop. and creating a big second chance opportunity. Got the first one to go, and her second one is off the mark. And this time it's Charissa Wettering who tracks down the board for Montezuma. Here come the Bravettes now. Vivian Cook to the corner. Larmore unable to get a look. Here's Ellen Cook. Ercilius, a nice swing of the basketball down to the block. Kick pass, take it away once more. Another steal by Garrigan. Montag goes to the top. Shot fake there by Bartolo. She goes down to that corner for Nielsen. Yeah, why not? That's a good 15-footer for Carly Nielsen.
That's a tough shot.
It
I
is.
mean, that's not an easy shot, but she was given enough space, and she says, all right, I'll try it. Nice job by Carly there.
The Golden Bears have a 25-point lead as Montag gets a little too greedy that time. She's like, yeah, I know. I'll learn for next time. That's whoa.
She's the only senior on the floor. She can do what she wants.
She can get away with that kind of stuff. Coach Schwab has all the trust in her. Left corner three comes short, and it's Tigges with the rebound. And Montag was asked after they beat St. Ansgar. She's been to state 4 years in a row, and she was asked, does it ever get old? And she's like, no, of course not. This is so much fun. We're playing at the highest level of girls basketball, and best state for it. Three comes up short there for Montag. Rebound, Wettering nearly threw it away. Vivian Cook's got to get a move on if the Bravettes are to score here before the break.
And they need something here.
Oh, man. That's a bomb from the outside. Comes up short. And now Bartolo on the run out. 3-on-2. Nice dish. And the follow for Tigges.
What did I say? You got to share the wealth. And that right there, I mean, that's just unselfish basketball. You're just trying to get down the floor. And transition has been so big for Bishop Garrigan so far today.
This foul will result in free throws, and Montezuma's got to be thinking, thank goodness, and get at least an opportunity there.
Haven't scored a field goal since 5:25 here in the second quarter.
It has been a tremendous run here by Garrigan as Claire Ercilius tries to get something to go for Montezuma, and there you go. And that shuts down a very long Golden Bear run.
So St. Albert, our one seed, scored 42 points in their game total. Bishop Garrigan has 39 here in the first half. I mean, it just kind of shows you the firepower that Bishop Garrigan brings, a dangerous 4-seed.
Yeah, and we thought, well, did they maybe get handed an easy region with how easy they went through it? But nope.
And St. Albert almost lost to Riverside.
That's
Riverside gave St. Albert a heck of a fight. And not to mention, you got Noah Fonda and North Lynn on the bottom of the bracket.
Oh, yeah. 1A's still very much up for contention. Garrigan loses it. Ercilius doesn't get that shot off in time. It missed anyway. And that will take us into the break. The Golden Bears make a statement. They lead Montezuma by 25 going into the locker room. Well on their way to a date with the Saints of St. Albert. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll run down the first half, recap it for you, get you ready for half number 2 as well. It's all coming your way when we come back on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Different people have different needs, so Delta Dental of Iowa has affordable dental and vision coverage that meets you where you are. Small business on a budget? We have options with no employer costs. Traditional Medicare plans don't cover dental, but we do. And if you can't get benefits at work, you can buy direct from us. Plus, we give back to local communities, so you help make an impact. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, for your community.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Well, nothing makes you hungrier than watching somebody stuff their face with wings, right? It's part of the halftime festivities here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament with Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. In case you're wondering, it was the Bishop Garrigan kid who won the wing eating contest, and that's fitting with how the first half is gone. Garrigan has dominated things, up by 25. You highlighted a number of things throughout the first half. We'll dive deeper a little later on with our Sioux Cup stats, but it's really every aspect of the game. Rebounding, defense, shooting, you name it. Right now, Garrigan's doing it well.
Well, and like we've talked about, both teams experienced here at the state tournament. It just feels like Bishop Garrigan's experience is leaning in a little bit more, and they're technically the younger team. And I think you got to give credit to Coach Schwab for what he's done to help him out. But it's just a constant defensive pressure. Montezuma has not been able to really breathe any possession that they've been able to even get past the half-court line. It's just a constant pressure by the Golden Bears, and it's a formula that has worked for Coach Schwab for many years, and he hasn't changed it. And Montezuma, you look at just 2 timeouts as well. I mean, Burgess doesn't have a lot to work with, even if Montezuma can come back in this game. But it's a high fire-powered offense that doesn't give up a lot of points, and it's working right in Bishop Garrigan's favor.
Yeah, it certainly is. And you got to think maybe last year only making it to the state quarterfinal round probably fired up the Golden Bears to try and get deeper here into the week this year, and they're certainly playing like it. They outscored Montezuma 23-6 in the second quarter. We'll dive into a little bit more of the analysis with some halftime stats and continue to get you ready for the next half of this Class 1A state quarterfinal. Bishop Garrigan up big at the break. We'll have more when we come back on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
Hey fans, official state tournament merchandise is now available online. It's time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Here at the 2025 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau with Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. Bishop Garrigan a massive advantage at the half. A 39-14 edge over Montezuma. Blake, as we take a look at how things have gone in the first half of play with our Sioux Cup stats, what are some of the things that maybe just stood out to you early on about why this game is as lopsided as it is?
Well, I think we talked about it. It's kind of a flip script. You look at that three-point percentage. Montezuma is a very good three-point shooting team. They're one of the best in the state, and they have yet to hit a three-pointer. Haven't really shot many three-pointers yet today. And then field goal percentage, obviously Montezuma just can't seem to hit down low. Bishop Garrigan's doing a really good job, led by senior Zoe Montag with 13 points. Rebounds, you and I talked about it. It feels like it's more. You're kind of lucky it's a 19 or 13-9 advantage, but offensive rebounds you circle. And then turnovers. 12 turnovers. Right. Most of those have come in transition, and Bishop Garrigan's done a really good job getting up and down the floor.
Yeah, not only is Garrigan winning the turnover margin, but like you said, they're capitalizing on it. They've scored 16 points off of turnovers in the first half of play, 6 of them on fast breaks. They've taken advantage with 5 second chance points. Again, obviously what we have on screen tells a lot of the story, but if you dive deeper into the numbers, it certainly suggests a domination.
They're still trying to shoot the ball. Ellen Cook, you talked about that game where she shot 1 of 14 from the three-point line. She's just 1 of 10 from the floor right now. So they're just going to have to figure a couple things out. You're going to have to play a little bit tighter on the defensive end. I just feel like they've been a little slow when it comes to keeping up on a couple three-point attempts. But other than that, I think Bishop Garrigan can set themselves up well for a big game or a big second half here, and Montezuma's just going to have to start putting some things together.
Your halftime score again, Bishop Garrigan 39, Montezuma 14. We will take another break here, come back, and get you ready for the second half of play here at the 2025 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
This game is heating up, folks. Frank squares up like a butcher block on defense. Audie with the fadeaway. She's on fire! Literally, that is. The net has been burned to a crisp.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
He's the prime cut passer from behind the meat counter. It's Fairway Frank. And introducing a 6'3 center who's a cut above the rest. Say hello to Audie Crooks.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, the site of the 2025 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy. Daniel Versteg, Blake Walker with you. All right, so Bishop Garrigan's got a big lead at the break. We're nearly halfway through with our Class 1A state quarterfinals. Still some big games with North Lynn, Gladberg, Rhinebeck, Newell Fonda, Springville. I think the top 4 was pretty easy to determine here in 1A.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think it's anybody's championship.
Yeah, I think so. And, you said it. The top 4 have pretty much been the top 4 all year long. But, yeah, once it gets past that, I think it's, like you said, it's anybody's championship. I like Newell Fonda. I think Newell Fonda has a really good team. They beat this Bishop Garrigan team pretty convincingly. North Lynn, obviously defending state champions. They're going to be tough to beat. And then, St. Albert comes in as the 1 seed. Obviously, Bishop Healing got upset, but St. Albert, didn't look great toward the end of the year. What saves them as their conference, the Hawkeye 10, is a lot of 3A schools. So they play Harlan. Yeah. So that's kind of helped them out. But, yeah, I think after this, these semifinals are going to be so fun to watch. And it's quick. You jump into it on Friday, and then immediately you're into championships on Saturday. So, yeah, I think this is a very good class. We think 4A was the best, but overall, this was this is a really tight one here for especially these 4 teams.
And, of course, our first semifinals tomorrow morning, the 5A1s, all CIML, all top 4 seeds. That's going to be a really entertaining start to the next round of the state basketball tournament. And, again, that gets started at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're ready to get this second half underway. See what Montezuma drew up in the locker room in the second half of play. See what Bishop Garrigan comes out with to try and keep their pedal to the floor. It's Tigas working her way inside and getting to the line right away.
And, I mean, they shot 10 free throws there in that first half and just kind of got to the line when they could. A lot of it was off offensive rebounds. They were able to get back up to the charity stripe. So shooting 7 of 10, not bad at all. And why not try to make it a little bit easier from the line?
Well, and this is one of the players that really likes to get to the line as she buries the first one. Coach Schwab called her a very athletic player and one that is very strong with her drive to the basket. Coaches always talk about you got to go up strong. Well, she certainly has taken that message to heart, and only as a freshman, too. Montezuma needs an answer badly. And that's not going to do it. Montag with a takeaway. Alish to the floor, gets bumped, and she's going to the line again as Bishop Garrigan just creates opportunity after opportunity.
Well, and I think what I'm really starting to see is whenever they have an issue coming up the floor, it's always just one Montezuma girl who comes up to try to help. They're going to need everybody to come up because it's pretty easy to cover one other player that you know is going to get the basketball.
That first one drops in there for Seisha Alish as we see again that bump. Sending her to the floor from Vivian Cook, the sophomore. It's just been kind of a tough go of things here today for Montezuma. Certainly don't have their A game, unfortunately. Bravettes have put together some very impressive opportunities, impressive performances at the state tournament. And we got a timeout called as Janelle Burgess had to save a 5-second call.
Did she get it? I did.
Yeah, she did. They did grant it to her. So just one timeout remaining now for Montezuma for the rest of this game. We'll take it with her, and we'll be back with more of this state quarterfinal on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Now the Bishop Garrigan cheerleaders and the Golden Bear himself, an appearance here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament. As we welcome you back to the floor, Blake Walker, Daniel Verstegetz. The Garrigan side has a lot to cheer about right now.
Yeah. They got their ties out and everything.
Yes.
Coach Schwab doesn't have a tie on today of all days. He's probably saving that, but you got a couple of the students in the student section there with a couple ties on and whatnot, and yeah, that's just kind of what you like to see.
You know, I know Coach Schwab usually tries to bring that tie out for Championship Saturday. If they get the opportunity to, and I think the students maybe taking a page out of the Drake fan playbook with the everybody had to get that Coach McCullum blue tie out there. Oh, here's a deep three. That doesn't have enough on it from Vivian Cook. And those are not the shots that Montezuma needs to try and get back into this one.
Well, and, now they're shooting them, but they're not hitting. And when you've been hitting all year, that's just a tough thing to swallow when you have a chance.
Big block there for Sydney Burgess. And she creates an opportunity here for Montezuma. Now this is Ellen Cook drilling a triple from a few feet out.
I bet you're going to see numbers go way up here in the second half. I think you're just going to have to go back to what's gotten you here to the state tournament, and that's the 3-ball. Just keep shooting.
Bishop Garrigan trying to answer. They've always had an answer here today. And Gracelyn Eastman can't dial it in. So a couple of stops here for Montezuma as they try and come back from the dead here in the second half.
Sydney Burgess, I think she really hangs her hat on defense. She's such a good one-on-one defender, and that time was really good getting her hands up.
Coach Burgess always talks about her daughter having a nose for the ball as far as rebounding is concerned, but the same can be true for when someone's coming down the lane and invading her personal space. You got to turn it away. Now here's Burgess. Couldn't quite handle that outlet pass. And Bishop Garrigan got the ball back. A few opportunities here for Montezuma in the last minute or so that just haven't been able to fully take advantage of.
On that time they were going fast, and we haven't seen them go fast all day. So just a little bit out of character there. Trying to bring a little bit of their own press, but Golden Bears doing a really good job breaking it.
Montag, you betcha, from the right corner. And the senior fires up the bench. He's got 16.
4 3-pointers. I mean, that's kind of what she brings to the table, and the senior's going off here today.
We got a foul the other way, or an out of bounds, excuse me. And it'll be Bishop Garrigan's ball, and they got a chance to maybe turn that running clock on if they can keep the momentum going as Janelle Burgess makes a substitution once again. Lauren Larmore into the contest. It is an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Ellen Cook goes out to the bench, gets a quick talk from Coach Burgess, and goes right back, just trying to get her to calm down here.
So I guess that battery does need recharging a little bit, but it's a quick charge. It doesn't take much. Montezuma brings it back. This is Ellen's younger sister, Vivian,
who is going to have a really good rest of her high school career ahead of her. I mean, just very athletic with the basketball.
She's already got the single-season three-point record at Montezuma, and with how good the Bolton sisters were before that.
That's pretty good.
That's impressive because they broke the record a couple of times at Montezuma. This fall-away shot didn't go. I remember Elise broke it one year, and then Mia came up to varsity, and she broke Elise's record, and they all had kind of a back and forth going for a couple of years. Nice inside pass, and Wettering scores.
Couple good possessions here. They missed that three that last time with Urselius, but really nice job by Montezuma there getting it down on the low floats.
Here comes Montag, and she's had such a big game. Goes up top. Yeah, Tigges walked. Yeah, she just shuffled the feet a little bit.
I think she was surprised how wide open she was. She was like, well, should I shoot this? And
you kind of second-guess yourself sometimes in those instances. Montezuma brings back in Ellen Cook there as she's gotten her 1 minute of rest, I guess, for the whole game. And she'll be bringing it up the floor. You mentioned it. She's going to run cross-country and some track in college. She's doing it at Drake. And just proving again that she can do just about anything athletically speaking. Bishop Garrigan brings it back off the miss. Golden Bears up by a large margin and trying to add to it. Good lob out. That's a three from Rothler. And it's Bishop Garrigan's afternoon here in Des Moines.
It's rain.
Yes, it is.
A lot of three-pointers here. And, you know, they've just kind of flipped it. It is part of their game, but if they can start hitting it like that, it's going to be tough to beat for anybody.
Yeah, good luck, St. Albert. There's a turnaround Wettering with the nice baby hook shot. So Montezuma still trying to keep this one alive. And you know, we talked about some of the keys to the game, and one of the keys Janelle Burgess had that she told us about was handling the pressure from Garrigan, and that just hasn't happened, both on the defensive side and the pressure coming from that three-point shot from Seisha Alish and the rest of the Golden Bear offense.
You got 7 three-pointers right now. It's hard to beat any team who's made 7 three-pointers and shooting them at a good clip. I mean, they're going to be just under 50% here when our stats update.
Yeah, it has been a very impressive showing on the offensive side of the ball. And now, we got our officials needing to talk about something.
I could have swore it was going to be Montezuma basketball.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
I think so. Just had that lined up incorrectly. Jason Slaughter and Royce Raniger are officials that converge to make sure. And I think the official scorer needs to check and see what the official call is here. And where the shot clock needs to be at. That's, I think, the...
Yeah, because it was still Montezuma's ball.
Right, so...
It was just knocked out of bounds.
There's Jason Slaughter checking things up. There we go. Yep, we got it all straightened out. Just a little bit of confusion. That happens to the best of us. So here comes Montezuma. Ellen Cook. Bounce over to Lormore, and that one's tied up. Alish gets her hand stuck in there and keeps it with Montezuma.
I think she's been in every passing lane today. I mean, she is just so quick, really spunky there trying to get to the floor, and, boy, really nice job.
Junior averages 3 steals a game. Nearly had another one there. Cook gets bumped. A little too much hip checking there from Ava Rothler, and Montezuma's going to reset here.
I don't know how much it picks up on camera or from our audio, but you know, the Golden Bears, they talk a lot.
Yes.
I mean, they let each other know where the ball's going to be at. And I think that also really helps them out here offensively.
Inbound in the corner, and that one from Burgess is off the mark. The Golden Bears get the speed up the floor. Oh, and Hoagland really wanted to fire.
Surprised she didn't take it.
Eastman out top. Alish in and out. And it is Wettering with the board. As Bishop Garrigan settles back in defense. That's one of the more impressive things. They get back on defense so well, and they are ready to go for whatever comes their way as Ellen Cook dances one in.
She needed to see one drop in again. I mean, she's had a lot of really decent looks getting down to the basket and got that one to drop through transition.
Just her third field goal of the game, though. It's been really tough for the Montezuma senior. This is Hoagland. Now over to Rothler. Some of the bench players in here for Bishop Garrigan, giving them an opportunity. Right corner. Nielsen doesn't have it, and it's Ellen Cook trying to keep Montezuma in this one. See if the Bravettes have a little extra life to scare Garrigan just a bit. Wettering, what a post move, just couldn't finish.
That's been the tough thing to see for Wettering. Her post moves are quite good. I mean, she's really good at getting around to the basket. A couple good hook shots, just some days you just can't hit.
Little roll down to Eastman, works her way around Wettering and finishes.
No real celebration either. She just kind of did what she was supposed to do and goes in there amongst the posts.
Just punching the time clock here in Des Moines. This is Bartolo. Bounce left. And Ellen Cook all the way to the rack for two. And Ellen Cook nearing double figures with 9 points.
Things starting to flow a little bit better here for Montezuma offensively. Just trying to find some rhythm here.
This might be a little too late here as Garrigan sets it up. Wettering comes out to guard Nielsen.
One thing's for sure, Bishop Garrigan definitely not as heavy on the defensive efforts after a shot makes or misses.
What a shot there by Nielsen. Hardly moved the net. On its way down for two.
Mid-range jumpers seem the hardest, and when somebody makes them, you're just like, man, that's a good shot.
Wettering tied up and fouled. She'll shoot two, and we're going to have a whole host of new players. A full hockey line change here for Bishop Garrigan. As we see that nifty free throw line jumper again. Yeah, that is smooth as silk.
Also, BG, if they get away with a win today, they wouldn't play till Friday. So, I mean, not only do you get Thursday to rest, but for these starters, most likely we won't see them in the fourth quarter. So it's just even more rest.
They did bring in a couple starters, though, back off the bench then. Zoe Montag, Amy Bartolo, and Tigas also in as well. Brooklyn Birdie, Addison Ferris joined them. So there are a few starters in this IMT insurance substitution. But certainly not as many as if this game were a little closer.
Yes.
Second free throw does go in for Wettering. And the other thing about Garrigan getting to play on Friday is hopefully that allows a few more folks to come down here. This was the second year in a row they played their region final in Mason City. And Coach Schwab talked about it being Garrigan East. And he talked about Garrigan South here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines with the crowd showing up. And they're enjoying the show from Emmy Bartolo.
Her dad's one of the assistant coaches. He cracked a little bit of a smile there. That was a really nice play. Just perfect ball movement by Bishop Garrigan.
Larmore couldn't get that one to drop. That one's picked up by Ferris. And maybe the buzzer beater here at the end of the third would give us a running clock scenario for the fourth. I know Montezuma doesn't want that. And Garrigan lost out of bounds, so it'll go back to the Bravettes.
Yeah, just second unit running a little bit faster here, trying to keep up. Great minutes for them, too.
Right.
I mean, you just never know when fouls become an issue, and Coach Schwab's getting big minutes here.
Ellen Cook spots up, missed it. Rebound, tracked down, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. This is all Bishop Garrigan. The Golden Bears have dominated through the first three quarters. I have no reason to suspect it'll be any different in the fourth. We'll come back and get that fourth started on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Garrigan fans had a lot to dance about. Gary, the Golden Bear, in attendance. Montezuma fans just trying to enjoy the final fourth quarter in this one as the Golden Bears have dominated start to finish, Blake Walker. It's been a real strong performance.
They have. I mean, and it's what we've seen from them the last couple of years when they get here to the state tournament. And Montezuma, who, when they're on, unfortunately just has not been on today. And give a lot of credit to Bishop Garrigan's defense, forcing a lot of turnovers, 15 turnovers by Montezuma today.
Yeah, that's been the big. That's the stat you look at and say, this is why this game is the way it is. There's Bartolo off the glass. And, of course, in high school basketball, that signifies now a running clock scenario. It'll only stop for timeouts and free throws.
Coach Schwab described Emmy Bartolo as a high motor. Yeah, watch her. She's number 10. I don't think she stops moving. I mean, she just moves everywhere and is able to just really keep up.
Wettering finishes. We talked about her post moves have been great. Just has not quite gotten the execution she would like, but got that one to drop there.
I hope, Wettering going to graduate here this year, but for the rest that Montezuma sees as a post, I think Burgess obviously will become that number one center, but Wettering leaves on the table such really good post play that you're going to have to go back and watch it because, man, a lot of fundamentals being played by Wettering.
Trying to think, are we officially done with Wetterings now? We've had three, Shatia and Shanae.
Yep.
And
maybe
I think so.
Maybe. Have all gone through Montezuma's program.
Feels like we've had a Wettering here at the state tournament just about every year, and I guess we have 6 of the last 8 years they've been down here. It's gonna be weird without a Wettering on the floor. This one up and danced in and out, and that's Charissa with the board, the younger of the 3 that have come through. Shatia at UNI right now, started with the Hawkeyes. Drive inside, and I know Shanae's played with some NAIA schools as well, just showing how strong of a basketball family that is.
Well, and, just Montezuma in general, the fact that they've had a couple families run through here, and you see that. Right. Families run deep over there in Powder-Sheet County, so it you just kind of work your way through the families. Everybody keeps getting older, and they'll be back. I mean, Coach Burgess and that team and that conference. North Mahaska's gotten pretty good the last couple of years. Linville Sully, led by Coach Holsing's really good, but definitely tough.
Yeah, and even HLV got above 500 this year. That's the thing I think we see with a lot of these conferences. I think Bishop Garrigan would start to agree with how Forest City's done in the top of Iowa. As soon as one team kind of shows what it's like, it raises
Elevates
the level.
The programs,
absolutely, because let's face it, these guys have to play each other twice every year. You don't want to keep losing by 30 or 40 twice a year.
And for Bishop Garrigan, Forest City, that's a 3A school who, unfortunately didn't make it to state this year, but those are good competition levels.
And unfortunately, that rivalry will maybe go away with Forest City leaving going to the North Central Conference, part of the continuing ever-changing carousel of conference realignment as Madeline Tigas earns a way to the line with an and one opportunity.
This freshman can ball.
Yes.
Man, she can play. Take a look at this move down low. Just this nice little up and under going against one of the tallest players on the floor, and got it to go off glass.
That's what you got to do. You got to create misdirection. You got to, get somebody to bite. And that's a good way to do it. As 4 players check in here for Bishop Garrigan as part of an IMT insurance substitution. Ada Rothler's in. Brooklyn Birdie, Addison Ferris all in. And with that second made free throw, Carly Nielsen will join the fray, as with Alyssa Hogland as well. Both teams will probably have an opportunity here to empty their bench, I would assume, if each coach wants to, obviously. Get a lot of players an opportunity to play under the bright lights here in Des Moines.
Well, and yeah, through all this, Montezuma still just kept 6 deep. That's all they've gone.
There's a little fight for position down low, and you can just see the fatigue starting to settle in down low as Nielsen picks up her 4th personal foul there.
You know, when teams shoot this well in a tournament like this could be college, it could be anywhere, you wonder how much do you got left in the tank. You always say, well, don't use it all up, but I mean, 42% from the three-point line for Bishop Garrigan and 46% from the floor. It's a big one. They're going to have a big one against St. Albert, but luckily you get a day. But you just hope I didn't shoot all my best shots there in that first round.
Yeah, you went through all your makes here.
Yeah,
in Des Moines. Yeah. Here is Vivian Cook going to Ellen. Can she get another 3 to drop? Not that time. Rebound for Nielsen. As the clock continues to tick down here in Des Moines, Garrigan, all the way up, and that was a shuffle of the feet and a travel. Nielsen turns it over.
A little bit of an extra step there. Which, considering how much they've run today,
I would think you want to limit your steps, right?
haven't really been caught like that too often.
I do my best to avoid walking as much as possible. I wouldn't want to take too many extra steps. Vivian Cook can't kick it out, and it's Brooklyn Birdie back the other way. Good ball fake. Oh, it spun off, and it's kept alive. Back under the basket it goes, and in for 2 is Carly Nielsen.
Birdie wishes she was able to grab that assist there, but my goodness, I thought for sure that ball was being passed.
Yeah. Now it is Ellen Cook back the other way, as again, Montezuma just trying to finish the season on as high a note as possible. There's Larmore in the corner. Won't go. And here comes Brooklyn Birdie. Picked off there by Arcelius. And she's fouled. Not quite a shooting opportunity. So the clock's going to continue to run. And now Montezuma is going to start going deeper into that bench. Lindsay Henry is the 7th player to check in for Montezuma in this game. Sydney Burgess is back in as well. And I think that's going to be the final senior send-off for a couple of Montezuma players. Charissa Wettering, Ellen Cook getting hugs, high fives, handshakes as they leave the floor for a final time in a Montezuma uniform.
Always leave the jersey better than you found it. And I think those two signify what Montezuma is as a program, and very good careers here for the Bravettes.
These are the Bravette players who will probably enjoy at the state tournament here again next year, as Burgess can't quite dial in Henry, and it's a turnover, and Bishop Garrigan's going to bring in 4 new players as well. And that will empty the bench for Coach Brandon Schwab, as his team is secured a date with the top-seeded Saints of St. Albert coming up on Friday evening.
It's a job well done. I mean, it truly is. You couldn't ask for a better first-round game, and especially how St. Albert played. You got to like it if you're a Bishop Garrigan fan, that matchup on Friday.
Of course, evening was a very loose term on my part. I should say afternoon at 1:30. But once you're here, the time just kind of passes by.
Yeah, we only get slight slivers of the light outside. So.
And we got some more Montezuma players checking in as Claire Arcelius goes to the bench, one of the starters there. Vivian Cook, Sydney Burgess also to the bench as Montezuma has totally emptied their bench. Lauren Larmore, that leader on the floor. There's the 2 hugs there with Vivian Cook and Sydney Burgess, sophomores. I'm sure we'll use this game as fuel to the fire.
I was just about to say, I mean, could be one of the better duos in the state here as they get older. Keep an eye on those 2.
Those are names to bookmark. Here's a corner 3 up from the left side, and Alexa Rose can't quite put that one down. Garrigan on the run out. That's Erpelding Wickman on the long pass up to Ludwig, but just too far out in front. It'll be Montezuma ball. So the Bravettes will end short of that 20-win mark. They'll end at 19-6. And Bishop Garrigan, they're going to get to 23-3 as they'll secure that date with St. Albert. As a timeout is called, and Montezuma's going to use it for substitutions, not as a strategy timeout. And Bishop Garrigan doesn't want it. Nope, we'll just let the timeout pass. Montezuma, I think, just about emptying their bench here.
Stick around for these next two games.
Yes.
You got North Lynn and Gladbrook Rhinebeck. The first of 2 times those two schools will meet in the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's also a first-round matchup for the boys, ironically. And then Newell Fonda and Springville. 2 very good offenses.
Great minds think alike when it comes to making these brackets here at the state tournament, I guess. You know, that
get used to it.
And for North Lynn and Gladbrook Rhinebeck fans, you don't have to learn a whole nother school. You just gotta keep transferring it over. It's great. So that is, those are going to be great games, though. They get started here with a 5 o'clock tip for North Lynn, and Gladbrook Rhinebeck 6:45 is a Newell Fonda Springville game, and then the quarterfinal round is complete here in Des Moines. So here comes Bishop Garrigan at 3, doesn't fall. Rebound kicks around. It's off Montezuma. Garrigan will get a chance here to get above 70 potentially. Something they have done in 3 of the last 4 games.
I was going to say, that's been on par for them.
Yeah. They have and that one time they didn't. They scored ho-hum 68. That 3 doesn't go for Ludwig. And Montezuma will bring it up. This is Alexa Rose. Got that 3-point play while we were yapping a few moments ago. Here's Kraus trying to kick it out. A baseline drive. Pass across the alley. Smothers. Stuck there. Well, she's got Rose in the corner. Let it fly. Doesn't go. And that rebound is taken by Erpelding Wickman. And Garrigan's going to dribble it out. Bishop Garrigan sets themselves up with a semifinal date against St. Albert in dominating fashion. The Golden Bears take down Montezuma 69-31 here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. That'll be Bishop Garrigan, St. Albert in a Class 1A semifinal Friday afternoon. And again, we've said it the whole game, but just outstanding performance by Bishop Garrigan.
Yeah, and Coach Schwab played Coach Schwab basketball, and that's really what it came down to. And Montezuma just wasn't able to hit a couple shots, just never got that offensive rhythm. And this Bishop Garrigan team, just one senior, looked this good in the first round. They're going to be a tough out here in the tournament.
Like you said, everybody thought, oh, are we done with these guys? Nope, not quite. And, well, this performance suggests that the next couple of years could be scary for 1A teams once again. Let's go down to the floor. We've got our post-game presentations upcoming.
Please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Executive Director Aaron Gerlich and Basketball Administrator Gary Ross. Congratulations to Head Coach Janelle Burgess and the Bravettes from Montezuma on an outstanding basketball season. And now, number 22, Zoe Montag will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Golden Bear fans, your team advances to the semifinals and will play not the winner, they will play Council Bluffs St. Albert on Friday afternoon at 1:30.
Well, the seniors involved, 2 seniors for Montezuma, get to bring the trophy back to their team. And the senior Zoe Montag advances Garrigan onto the semifinal round in the Class 1A bracket. And a big performance by Bishop Garrigan. Montezuma, we talked about it, they've got, I think, a good upside with a lot of young talent. And they're a team that has been here a lot before, and I think we can expect them again in a couple of years,
Yeah,
too.
I think so. I mean, Coach Burgess really has a good team, a good core group of young players. They will be back, that's for sure. And as for Bishop Garrigan, get a good date here with St. Albert. I think that's going to be a fun one in the semifinals.
The Golden Bears force 19 turnovers, shoot over 36% for the three-point arc, and cruise to a 69-31 win over Montezuma in a Class 1A state quarterfinal. Again, Garrigan against St. Albert, Friday afternoon at 1:30. Stick around. 2 great 1A quarterfinals come your way. North Lynn, Gladbrook, Rhinebeck up next. It's Newell Fonda and Springville to close out the night. Until then, we'll say so long. For Randy Nielsen, our producer, for Blake Walker, I'm Daniel Versteg. You've been watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.